Yo, what up? We back with another edition of RPT, Real Prison Talk with Wes. And today I'm going to get into a little bit of visiting rules, what happens in the visiting room, what to expect from the type of dudes that ask you to do certain things. Before I even get into this, I just want to put out there that I don't write none of my shows. I don't rehearse none of my shows. I one take it every time. And I come straight off the fly because I feel like if I was like to write it down or rehearse it, it wouldn't be real, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be as authentic. So what I do is a lot of times I get these topics from my subscribers, or either I come up with a topic on my own and I just come straight from the rib with it, you know? That don't give me no time to doctor up any fabricated stories or any lies. I just tell it like it is. With that being said, I'm going to jump right into it. I know a lot of guys might ask a female to bring him something through the visit. And we talking about dudes that's been doing this for years, so they know how to do it. They might tell her, listen, put it in here, or hold it in your mouth, swallow it, do this, do that, do whatever, you know what I mean? And I'm going to just come off the rip and say, if a dude is asking you to bring him something in jail, contraband, whether it's legal or illegal, because I know it ain't always about bringing in some drugs. Like, that's where our mind always go with it. It ain't always, but I knew a dude that he just wanted cologne from the world, you know, and he would empty out the little Muslim oils that they sell. He would empty those bottles out. And then that dude got the same car, got a different color, looked dope. And, my fault, getting off topic. And he would have his wife replace it with like Polo Red or whatever name brand colognes is popping. He would empty out the little $10, $5, whatever Muslim oils, get the bottle to her. She'll replace it with whatever cologne she brings, you know. His situation was kind of unique because this was a dude that was down for a while. So he was getting trailer visits. Trailer visits, if you don't know, that's an overnight stay with you and your wife. If you're married, you got to be married before you were sentenced. And if you're married, and of course ticket free, you got to be an outstanding, citizen, outstanding inmate. Then you get trailer visits. One ticket to mess that up. That's why I used to tell a dude all the time, you're bugging, even risking it, you know. And he wound up losing his trailer visits for something stupid. Anyway, I think he had her put some porn on his video game, and they found it, and he got a ticket for it, contraband ticket, and he lost his trailer visits for life. And he was like one of the last dudes in the jail that was receiving trailer visits, so they really didn't want him to have it anyway, and he just gave them what they wanted and messed that up. But my thing is this: if you got a dude that's telling you, hey, bring this in for me, you got to really ask yourself, how much can this dude really care about me? Not saying he don't, but let's state the facts. Let me just put out, once an inmate is caught receiving contraband from a visitor in a visiting room, that visitor is now taken off his list and can't come see him no more. So now, me personally, I did a substantial amount of time in prison. Anybody that I really care about, I'm not risking them getting taken off my list and not being able to come see me anymore. So my throwaways, which sound bad because we're human beings, nobody should be a throwaway, but people that I really don't mind if they get taken off the list, that might be the type of person I'd be like, hey, bring me this, bring me that. Not incriminating myself saying that I had anybody bring me anything in. I'm just saying, if I was going to take the risk, it's not going to be somebody that's important to me. True story. I remember the beginning of my bid, I had got some weed, not from the visiting room, because it's sold in jail just like it's sold on the streets. I bought some weed off a dude and put the weed in my sock. They sell you little tiny little crumbs of weed for like $10. So I bought some weed off the dude and wrapped it up in a little piece of paper and put it in my sock. My mom came to visit me. Luckily, the Lord was with me that day, because when you come back from a visiting room, you get strip searched before you go into wherever dorm, cell, wherever you live. You get strip searched before you get there, and you strip searched before you get back. So luckily this day, I bought some weed. I bought a couple little tiny little crumbs of weed, $10 a crumb, and one of the I bagged them up in separate little pieces of paper. Each little crumb, $10 crumbs. Each little $10 crumb, I maybe bought like $30, $40 worth. Had them in a bunch of pieces of papers. Smoked it with my homies. Forgot that I had one left. Put it in my sock. And I'm going around. My mom popped up on me on a visit. My mom used to come all the way from New York, all the way out to Connecticut to see me every 2 weeks. She pops up on her visit, her bi-weekly visit. And they called me, George, you got a visit. Forgetting that the weed is in my sock, I go, get dressed, go to the visit. Luckily for me, on my way back, you get a cool CO every once in a while who doesn't want to strip search you and see all your man goods and all that. So I just lucked up and got one of those that was like, yo, listen, Wes, bro, I ain't trying to see your butt cheeks. I don't want you bending over, squatting and coughing. Just take the pants off, empty the pockets, put them back on, and get out of my face. I still didn't even know I had this weed on me until I got back to the dorm. And now one of my homies is like, yo, you still got that piece? And I'm like, oh, snap. You know, I just came back from a VI with that joint on me. And not, God forbid, if I would have got caught and they track my mom down and that, because they'll catch your peoples before they leave. If you get searched, your peoples is going through whatever procedure they going through. So it ain't like they could just get up out of there as fast as they want. So now, let's say I got a dude that goes by the book and he strip search me and finds the weed. Now they catch my mom and tell her, yo, you off the list. You can't come see him no more. Sometimes they even take legal actions, depending on what and how much they find. That person might find themselves in jail. And yo, I was like devastated that I even put my mom, an old lady, and she gonna kill me for calling her old, but I even put her in that predicament, yo. And I was like, never again. Like, I just slipping. But you know, my whole point is, if somebody's asking you to bring something in, you gotta ask yourself, well, how important am I to this dude? Because he risking me getting caught and not being able to come see him no more. Dudes don't usually ask their main chicks to bring anything in for them. Dudes don't usually risk that with people that they want to see as often as possible. I know a lot of homies that was doing that. They basically had like females that they didn't even know, you know. A homie just put them on like, yo, I need this done. All right, you make a phone call. Next thing you know, I got a chick out there that do it. And you don't even know that chick. So if she get kicked off of your list, you know what I mean? Because you got to get on a visiting list, which is a process in itself. So now you get this girl on your list. And God forbid, if she gets caught, whatever, she gets kicked off of the list. It's like, all right, who are you anyway? But if you call yourself in a relationship with this guy and he's asking you to bring him XYZ in through the visiting room, then you need to do some real soul searching between you and him and find out, well, how important am I to this dude? And, you know what I mean? It just is what it is. I know let me backtrack a little bit, because there are some dudes that's crazy enough to ask their main chick because that's all they got, you know? I'm thinking about this situation right now as I'm talking about it, and I did know one of my homies that used to have his wife, like the dude that was getting the trailer visits. Dude had his wife bringing in stupid stuff like cologne just so he could come back and sell it to us for top dollars. Now he want $50 for a tiny little bottle of Polo Red or whatever. So let's not, I don't want to say that he don't care about you if he asks you. Just, there's rare situations where this dude just might be crazy enough to take the risk. You know what I mean? There's a lot of risk takers out there. Or he just might not have nobody else in his corner to do it, you know? And to him, the reward outweighs the risk. Yeah, the reward outweighs the risk, of course. So let's not just say, okay, if he asks me to do this, he don't care about me. Let's take that back and say, maybe he just don't have anybody else, or maybe he just ain't that bright, you know? Because the dude that I'm talking about that had the trailer business, he really wasn't too bright. But that's for you to find out, you know what I mean? You know this guy personally. You should know how he feel about you. You should know how you feel about him. And maybe that might take in some type of accountability of, does this dude feel the same way about me, or am I worth it to him? Am I worth a bottle of Polo Red? And that's just something that you have to come up with. And even if he asks you, maybe you should ask him. Like, maybe that's something you and him need to talk about. And that's just that, you know. I'm not going to touch too much on it. On that note, we're going to end this session of RPT. If you have yet to subscribe to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button if you like the content. And I'm going to keep doing this. Until next time, peace.